Hello, 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 hello. Let me bring this closer here. Welcome, welcome. It is 2 minutes early. I'm 2 minutes early this time. Every now and then I'm a little late getting everything set up, but I'm on time. We've even already got people in the discussion. I will say konbanwa, which means good evening in Japanese, although only for another half an hour, and then I guess it's technically good morning. So Iceman, Nomad, and Matt are already over there. Scott's in there. Aloha from Hawaii. Scott, what time is it in Hawaii? I don't even want to hazard a guess. I know it's very early in San Diego, my hometown, but not super duper early. Maybe you could be watching over breakfast. And Cincinnati, Ohio, the morning state, as we would say in Japan. 4:30 a.m. Scott, what are you doing awake, buddy? All right. Hi, Jason. Hi, chat. Hello, Jay. Collins here. And Nomad is in the UK. It's a nice afternoon, Saturday afternoon time for you guys and the rest of Europe. So hopefully we'll get some people in. Ah, Scott's either up very late or he just got up early to do exercise. I admire that. Did I ever tell you guys the story about I bought a treadmill? Maybe it was even in the background. Like this was years ago now. I feel like right around pandemic time, and it was maxed out. It said, the max weight is 150 kg, and I started to use it and used it for about 3 months with no problem. And then I went home to America, so yeah, maybe I can't even remember. Anyway, I came back and I was using it, and sometimes you would let it start going, and then I would step on it, and I obviously weigh more than 150 kg, and it would kind of jerk a little bit as my weight got on it, and then I would start to walk, and then eventually the timing got wrong on it, and yeah, I ended up giving it away. Uh, it just didn't. Things. It's hard to find things that are built for my size here in Japan. I went to a gym for a while, and they had industrial strength because they get used all day long, every day type of treadmills, and I had no problem. But to buy one like that, I think would be thousands of dollars, and so I just wasn't prepared to do that. But yeah, it was great because I set it up over there in that room, and my TV's over here, and I would like watch NFL games or something while I walked, and it was good for me because I just won't exercise otherwise. But there we go. Okay, Singapore. Hello, Jalax. My students just went to Singapore. I got lots of here. I'll show you. I got lots of Merlion. Is that how you say it? Gifts. And this student bought me a keychain, and yeah, they had a wonderful time. I didn't get to go with them. I'm kind of glad because they told me it was like 30 degrees C and humid, even though it's November. And so for you guys that do Fahrenheit, that's like 90. So yeah, it's still very warm in Singapore, not surprisingly. All right. Hi, Badamantel. Ian. Hello, Ian. Thank you for being a member. Nicholas. Hello from South Africa. Wow. What time is it in South Africa, Nicholas? Carol, hello. Yeah, it's very hot all the time. Yeah, they were surprised, I think. I think they knew it was going to be warm, but it's already kind of like 15, 16, 17 here most days, Celsius. So, it's definitely cooled down now. It's fall. It's not winter yet, but yeah. Badamontel is in Germany. 3:30. Good. That means 3:30 for you Americans. We're going to get into sumo in a minute. Let me just maybe take one more minute to let other people arrive. And we've already got 34 people. 6 thumbs up. Thank you for those. Yeah, we'll talk about day 7. We'll look ahead to day 8 tomorrow, the middle Sunday, Nakabi, as they say in Japanese. Colin, you're already going to get snow? Wow. It doesn't really snow much where I am in Japan. I'm in Hiroshima Prefecture, and we're kind of close enough to the water in my town. And yeah, I mean, we might get a little bit and it'll stick around for like an hour, but I think in the eight plus years I've lived here, I've never had snow like linger. And I that doesn't bother me. I'm not a big snow person because I grew up in Texas and California. I hadn't really even ever seen snow other than like vacations to England until I moved here. And we used to get a fair amount in Shimane, much more than we get here. But yeah, I'm not too put out by the fact that I don't get snow a lot. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon in South Africa. Okay, that's not bad. Southern Finland. Iceman is in Finland. Wow. The internet's amazing. Tuesday. Okay. Well, you do live in Finland, so you know snow is going to be part of your double digit months. Does it start in October? Probably not. Maybe it doesn't start till now in November. Our actual worst winter months in my part of Honshu, the main island of Japan, are January and February. Much colder than November and December, and yeah, that's when it really gets cold. And you're just you can't see it, but you got to turn on your heat in the house and wear multiple layers. I mean, I am wearing long sleeves and two shirts and things like that already, just so you're just kind of warm. But anyway, all right. Marshall from Illinois, hello. Australia, Reggie, or just Reg. Checking in for sumo updates before bed. Wow, 1:30 a.m. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're an hour ahead of me. No, 2 hours ahead of me. Okay, 2 hours ahead of me, Reg. All right. Well, thanks for sticking around. We'll get right to it here. Okay. I'm learning all about weather systems in other countries. All right, Kyle. Says, hey, Jason. Hey, Kyle. All right, so let me see if I can share my screen and we can go to the website. This sometimes has intermediately good ability. So I got to always check back. Okay. So it's not dark. Good. So this is the collection that's going for days 6 through 10. So I put up 10 videos today, but even more matches because some of the videos have a couple. Kotozakura Tami Fuji. This is going to Hoshoru Abi, the big match of the day, really. So I'll skip past those comments. Onosato Ura, popular one. Kirishima Shodai, former Ozeki battle. Daieisho Hirada Umi, double match, the two Waka brothers. Takanosho, who was on the leaderboard, and Matakeumi, surprisingly back from injury. We'll talk about that. Double with early matches, Onokatsu and Karafuji, Shishi, Chiyoshoma. And then I had a couple Juryo matches up. Oh, what happened? Oh, you know what? Because I added some stuff. Oh, that reminds me. I got to go in and rearrange the collection. Okay, hold on. We got to scroll past these day 6 matches. And so I forgot to put the day 6 matches in the day 6 collection. I put them in the day 1 through 5 collection by mistake. So I moved them, but obviously they came in above. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I messed up. All right. Well, there should have been some Juryo matches because I did Aonishiki's match and somebody else. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll remember in a minute when I see the list. Yeah, happy birthday to Tamawashi. I totally spaced on. I should have recorded his match today because he won, and because he won, and it was his 40th birthday today, guys. They took him to the interview room, and they just were asking him about it. And then NHK, if you do Twitter still, so many people are leaving for Blue Sky and other things. But if you do Twitter, the NHK Twitter feed like took a picture of him and he put up like 4 fingers and a 0 for 40, and they just had some fun pictures up on like the official website. So man, and he's now the 6th oldest Rikishi to compete in the top division, and he's every like Basho in 2025 he's going to go up that list, and I think he can get to number 2 if he can go all the way to January 2026. So basically a year from now plus a Basho, he'll go up to number 2 all time for oldest active Rikishi, still competing in the Makuuchi division, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, Onosato, like I said, the Shinozeki rarely perform at amazing heights. The Hakuho, we all know that Hakuho was an exception to so many rules. To win the Yusho in your debut at Ozeki, I mean that's only happened once in the past 20 years, and that was Hakuho. So people were hoping that he would be able to do it, but and he still has a chance. I mean, we'll look at it in a minute. It's not like he's way off the mark or anything, but he doesn't look, invincible like I think people were kind of, framing him as. So I don't know what you guys think. Glad to see Kirishima get some wins, that he's not completely out of it. And we did have somebody pull out today, Bushozan. So citing, I believe it was a leg injury or an ankle injury. Poor guy had lost so many matches in a row, and then he finally won yesterday to go to like 1-5, and then he pulled out of the tournament. So he'll definitely be going back down to Juryo because he's at like Maegashira 17. All right, let's share again and look at the really quick. Let's just look at the standings. Join the contest. We can have a look here. Oops. All right. So, there's me. I'm way down, tied for 7th place with like 170 of you above me. I've got 25 points. There's my team. Not doing terrible, I mean, Kirishima certainly has been unexpectedly bad, but everybody else, and then if you go up, here are the people leading. One person all alone, Matthew H. with 31 points, and there's his team. Kotozakura and Hoshoru now are even. So spoilers if you haven't watched the matches yet for day 7. We're obviously going to talk about results. Takanosho at 6, Onokatsu at 6. Abi, not a popular choice, but leading the way in the M1 to M4 category with 5. Nobody else has 5, right? In that area, yeah. So many people picked Wakataka Kage, myself included. Daisho and Wakamoto Haru, basically a wash there. And Takata Fuji, a good pick here at 5 wins. So, yep. And then we got 6 people tied for 2nd and 7 people tied for 3rd. So it's quite, competitive right now. And we will, that link will be down in the description of this video and each Sumo Summary show from now on. Matt saying Kirishima still a chance to do what, Matt? To to get promoted to Ozeki? That's definitely done. And then we're like, well, hopefully he'll just get double-digit wins. So he's still set up for January. And no, he's not going to win the next 8 in a row. So Kirishima, Kachikoshi. Okay, there we go. As long as you're being realistic about what his chance is. Yeah, he still has a chance at Kachikoshi. And if he truly has, kind of like whatever was ailing him in the first 5 days is kind of like gone now and he's able to wrestle, he definitely has a shot. But he still has to win 6 of his next 8, which is no easy feat. Iceman's tied with me in the contest. All right, let's share again. And I really don't see your comments that much when I share, so just be patient with me. I'll check back in from time to time. All right, so we're going to look at who won and lost today. on day 7. We'll look ahead to day 8. All right, here we go. So as I said, absent is Bushozan pulling out. So we haven't really had, much in the way of one Juryo guy and one Makuuchi guy since day 1, other than obviously Teruno Fuji from before we even started. So that's good. Most everybody's healthy and fighting and doing their best. Okay, we'll start down in Juryo, as I usually do. So this was the big match. This is the match I have on the channel. Tochi Taikai against Ao Nishiki. Both men entering that match at 5-1. Juryo 11 versus Juryo 12. And Tochi Taikai got the win. So he is now 6-1. And Ao Nishiki, falls one off the pace to 5-2. And then I also put up the Oshomi Daishoho match because he's the leader. He went into the match 6-0, undefeated, Juryo 14, and he had a Juryo 9 opponent with only 2 wins, and he got the win to go to 7-0. So he is the leader in Juryo, and we'll look at the leaderboard a little later. Tochi Taikai's 1 off the pace, Ao Nishiki's 2 back. And Tsurugisho's 1 off the pace. He got another win today. Who else? Hakuoho lost to Kageyaki today in a very quick match. Looked like Kageyaki was mad at Hakuoho for some reason. Kimbozan, the Juryo 1, the man from Kazakhstan, got a win today, and he is still only 1 loss, so 6-1. So a couple guys behind the leader, who is Oshomi. All right, that's what's happening down in Juryo. Go back over here and see some of the comments. Yeah, Mitakayumi not on the list. That's one of the first thing I checked when I was checking in around 2 o'clock, getting ready to start watching, and I was like, "What? He's going to fight today?" And then, yeah. But if you saw his match, he clearly could not perform. And I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of was like, okay, let me fight one time, see if I can do anything. No, I can't. I lost really easily. Okay, maybe I'll and he might pull out tomorrow because he just couldn't do anything in his match today. Yeah, maybe it was more of his hip than his shoulder because he didn't have any tape on his upper body. It was all on his thigh and his buttock, and his hip area. So, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. Ghost says a potato. Is that a potato? Okay. Where can we watch full sumo matches? Marcus says. Well, you can watch matches over at my Patreon, but I don't put up every single match. If you want to watch everything, touchyeye.org has a thing. What is it called, guys? JTV, JMTV. I can't remember, but you can go over to touchyeye.org. And then other than that, there's streamers that stream all day. They could get taken down, but there are ways to see it. And then tomorrow, actually, that's a good lead in, Marcus, to tomorrow's day 8. So day 8 is one of the days where NHK actually do live stream with the official English commentary, but they only do 1 hour, and it's from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Japan time. They do day 1, day 8, and then the last 2 days, day 14 and 15, but only from about 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So you get kind of the second half of top division action only. But, and you have to watch it live. They don't replay it or, save it and show it again. Okay. Go back over here. So let's go to Makuuchi. So we started off with Bushozan, as we mentioned, pulling out of the tournament. Thomas Shoho from Juryo got a free win to go to 5-2. Then we had the Takada Fuji Onokatsu match. Somebody pointed out in the chat that Onokatsu hasn't had much, or maybe it was in my Patreon comments. he hasn't had many, hard opponents yet. So Takeda Fuji's kind of a wake up call. Hey, this is what the top division's really like. And he lost. So he's now off the undefeated list or undefeated leaderboard, but at 6-1, still having a great tournament. Takeda Fuji improves to 5-2. Shishi, unfortunately, started with 2 wins in the first 2 days and now has lost 5 in a row. He lost today to Chiyoshima. Asakura put up a good fight. This is a size mismatch if ever there was one. 194 centimeters, 192 kg for Shonan Umi, one of the largest guys in the top division. And Asakura is 177 centimeters, so it's about 15 centimeters shorter and about, oh my gosh, 70 kg shorter. That's like 200 pounds or something crazy. So yeah, just huge size mismatch, and Asakura couldn't get the win. He put up a good fight though. Shonana Umi now 5-2. Let's see what else we got going on. Hokuto Fuji finally got a second win. Takada Fuji, the veteran, 5-2 after beating Ryuden. Tamawashi, as I said, on his birthday, yay, got a win to go to 4-3, and he beat Midori Fuji. Takayasu was on my team. He lost today to Roga. Gonoyama fell off the one-loss group because he lost to Endo today. Takanosho beat Mitakeumi, and it was a straight ahead Tachiai, but then as soon as Takanosho put any pressure on Mitakeumi, he had no ability to push back and do anything other than just walk backwards out of the ring. Tobizaru got a 5th win by beating Nishikigi, who's really in trouble at 1-6. Koto Shoho, 2nd win. These two guys in trouble. Oshoma, a 2nd win, but a significant one because he beat Wakataka Kage. Mayashira 2 now at 4-3. And, he's not out of it by any means. He's 2 back, but, he's still very much in the hunt. Wakamoto Haru, his brother, got his 4th win at Komusubi by beating Oho. Daisho, the Sekewake, 4th win by beating Hirada Umi. Kirishima, 2nd win, so he's won 2 days in a row now. He beat Shodai. Shodai didn't really show up much for that match. Then we had our 3 Ozeki. Onosato beating Ura, 5-2 record now. Abi beating Hoshoryu. So that's the big news of the day. Hikio Toshi win. So Hoshoryu off the undefeated leaderboard, now at 6-1, though, still on top. But he's been joined now by other wrestlers like Koto Zakura, the Ozeki, who got a win in the final match of the day over Atami Fuji. And Atami Fuji putting up some good fights, but at 4-3. Koto Zakura looking, just solid and steady, and he's now 6-1. All right, let me catch up on the comments here. And then we'll go back and we'll look at the leaderboard in a second. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Anytime you come up to the top division, it's going to be rough your first bus show. Everybody's kind of like more skilled than you're used to. And they go on these regional tours and they have a chance to fight these guys. They go to, one stable will go to the other stable and they'll have practice sessions and stuff. It's not like they've never fought these guys ever, but in the 2 hours, the final 2 hours of the day when the arena is packed and, all the, your nerves are there and stuff, you have to be able to put all that aside and perform at a high level. And it's an adjustment, I'm sure, for a lot of the rookies. And it's like a lot of them, just stay one time and go back down to Juryo, and then they kind of start to get their sea legs and they come back. Uwate Hineri. Oh, okay. Which match was that? Bad Montel. I'll look it up. Boom, 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 boom. Huh. Who won by Uwate Hineri? They had to adjust one Kimarite. I think I even made a joke about it in my commentary that somebody like supposedly pulled a throw or something, but I was like, no, the dude just fell down. And so they had said he'd had a grip and he had no grip. And so then they changed it to like a slap down type of Kimarite because he does sort of like swat at him, but I don't even think he touched him. I can't remember what match it was though now. I mean, I'm watching so much sumo every day. Yeah, Tommy Fuji, that's true. I mean, the Maegashira 1, Maegashira 2 guys have now faced everybody ranked above them, so they do have a chance in the second week to get slightly less competitive opponents, perhaps. Takeda Fuji's never lost more than 2 matches in a basho. This might be the first one. Yeah, this might be the first one. Yasukoru match. Oh, okay, let me look at that real quick. Dun, dun, dun. Who did he fight? Shonana Umi. Okay. Uwate Hineri. He would definitely, I could see that bad mental because he's got such reach over Asakoru. But yeah, it's fun when you get new Kimanite you haven't encountered before. Yeah, I think Nicholas, the good thing about this bus show, especially as it started, was all the Ozeki were doing well. It's like they were all, fighting, winning. And I really did think we might go into day 7, day 8 with all of them undefeated, type of thing. And that hasn't worked out, but they're they're all really any of them could win the U show at this point, I think. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's finally going to be Hoshoru's chance to win his first U show as an Ozeki," and that could be true. Um, Kotozakura's first U show ever in the top division, that could be true. And it really could come down to a very exciting final weekend. And so I'm really chuffed that I'm going to be there on day 14 because I could be seeing some really pivotal matches live in the arena. And yeah, it could turn out to be a really fun, all down to the wire type of show, maybe even a playoff. Who knows? Um, Asanoyama's still out. I can tell you really quick. Let me share here and we'll have a look at it. Somebody else asked me that. So if you go to absent, this is the quickest way to find it. And there he is. So he was finally, he dropped out through Juryo down to Makuuchi 1, and he had to pull out again. And I had heard reports that he wasn't even thinking about January as the comeback, but March. So he'll go down to very low Makuuchi because this goes way down into like the 40s. And then have to battle back from there if he comes back in March. The problem is, he's let's see what stable he's in. Okay. Let's find him really quick. Here he is. He's in the same stable as Nasukoru. So he was born in 1994. So he turned 30 this year, which is not particularly old for a sumo. But I think there was a time when he was going to be the next Yokozuna, and people were totally hot on him being the next Japanese born Yokozuna. And of course, the having to pull out. He got as high as, of course, Ozeki in his career. And let's see if we can go down. And here it is, right? All these basho where he had to sit out. And then he finally came back in July of 2022, way down in Sandamne, and he fought his way back up. And then he had another injury in 2023, and then he had to pull out when he finally made it back up to Komusubi. He had to sit out, and it's just bad luck for the guy on top of bad luck. So yeah, I feel like he has fight left in him, and I think he has a desire, but does he have enough time and can he avoid any more injuries to get back up again. I don't think he'll ever be an Ozeki again, and he definitely is never going to be a Yokozuna at this point. But people do love watching him fight and cheering for him, just like people are cheering for Wakataka Kage now that he's back. So, black screen. Am I back now? Hello, can you see me? Every now and then it does do that when I go over. Okay, it's saying I'm back. Okay. But yeah, just that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes like Teruno Fuji and Tochinoshin, they can come back and make something out of it, and other times it's just not going to happen again. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Sumo Primetime, to be honest, Colin. He's been busy doing the play-by-play, but that shouldn't stop him from doing videos. I just don't know why they are so badly handling any kind of, what should I call it, uh, media presence for anybody outside of Japan. I mean, that was the lifeline, I think, for some foreign fans. A good outreach, a good start, have a presence on one of the biggest platforms in the world, YouTube. And yeah, it's just been mishandled, in my opinion. But maybe they weren't getting the views or the, I don't know. I shouldn't speculate. I can't it boggles me what they're trying to achieve there. I know that Isagahama Bea, oddly enough, Sarah Loves Sumo, one of my favorite Twitter people, just retweeted that Isagahama Bea, the home of Teruno Fuji and so many other big wrestlers, and Hakuho's stable and Hakuho himself for the time being, just started a YouTube page. And they put up a little 30-second spot, and you can go subscribe. They have about 2,000 subscribers right now. I subscribed, and they're going to they have an English line below the Japanese in their description, and it says, we're going to show what life is like for sumo wrestlers and Japanese culture and stuff. So hey, some of these stables should definitely be doing that and promoting the sport. So, and I mean, the Japanese fans will love it too. I mean, it's not like they can't watch those videos. Of course they can. So can I send the link in the chat to what, Alex? What I was just saying? The new Isagahama stable? Yeah, okay, sure, I can do that. Let me go grab that real quick. How do I do that? I think I retweeted it on Twitter. Let me see if it's there. Hold on. Okay. Yep, I did. So let me get here it is. Copy. Oh, isn't the internet a wonderful thing? I see. Fair enough. There we go. So, yeah, go sub. They should have some fun stuff up, I think. And who knows? You get to see Hakuho maybe, and Hakuoho, and some of his Miyagino stable people, as well as all the Fuji guys, Atami Fuji and Takeda Fuji, and the Yokozuna, maybe, if he wants to make an appearance. Anyway, let's do one more share real quick. Thank you for all of you coming by. 48 of you hanging out. Appreciate it. 19 thumbs up. I appreciate it. Let's look one more time. Make black here. All right, there. I think you can still see me. Alex, you're welcome. No worries, man. Okay, so let's look at the tournament leaders. So we got 4 guys tied for first in the top division: Kotozakura, Hoshoru, which is how it should be, right? Our 2 Ozeki performing well. The other Ozeki just 1 behind them, and that's great. Takanosho at 6-1, and a rookie. Well, he's not a rookie, but he's brand new to the top division. He's only been up there. This is only his second basho, Onokatsu. So, and then the amount of guys that have 2 losses in the 5-2 group is huge. We can look at it in a second. But 4 guys in the lead. Then we have a single sole leader in Juryo, Oshomi, and then Kimbozan, Tsurugisho, and Tochi Taikai, all at 6-1. So it's fun down in Juryo as well. And somebody asked about Enho. He is not in this division. We got to go past that. There he is. He is on the leaderboard for Sandamne and has a 4-0 record, so he's doing well. So that's great. Great to see him doing well. Okay, so let's look really quick here. Go back over, make sure I'm still okay. I believe I am. All right. Go back to... Oh, we haven't talked about day 8. That's why. Who's going to fight who? Okay, Asakoru taking on Onokatsu. That's a fun matchup. I'll have that and the Takeda Fuji match. This will probably be a double header. Sometimes I've been putting 2 matches together in one video. That'll be on the channel. Shishi has Sada Naomi. Tamawashi, the birthday boy, has Toki Hayate. Takada Fuji against Shonana Umi. This is kind of a fun one. Both men at 5-2. Takayasu Matakeumi. We'll see if he comes back for day 8. Takanosho 6-1. Midori Fuji. Ura Abi. Then we get into some of the higher ranked guys. Wakataka Kage, Hirada Umi. Komasubi Wakamoto Haru against Tatami Fuji. 2-5 Oho against 2-5 Shodai. Kirishima versus Daisho. And then our 3 Ozeki matches. First up, Koto Zakura taking on Shirana Umi. They all have like really kind of not mid Maegashira, but lower Maegashira opponents today on day 8. He has a Maegashira 4, Onosato has a Maegashira 5, and Hoshoru has a Maegashira 4. Onosato with the hardest opponent of those 3 with Tobizaru. So I don't know. They're lobbing him softballs on the middle Sunday here. But we'll see who wins and who loses on day 8. Okay, and then really quick, I wanted to look at today, because let's see how many people are 5-2. So 1, Shonanami 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people are at 5-2 behind the leaders at 6-1. So it's quite competitive right now. Yeah, about 8 or 9 on Nicholas had it right on 5-2. Matt's asking who's my favorite right now. I mean, I want him to do better, but I love Asakoru right now. I just think he's so much fun. I love his muscle man poses and stuff. I like a good... after watching that interview with Ao Nishiki that they put up on NHK, I'm rooting for him. He's down in Juryo right now. I want a new Yokozuna. The one we have, Teruno Fuji's done a great job. He's been a great Yokozuna, no doubt about it. But he's obviously ready to go, and so we need someone to take his place. So I was hoping Onosato would kind of defy convention and have a great tournament, and he might still. He could still win the Yusho, but he's obviously shown a little bit of little kinks in the armor, as it were, and. But yeah, I'm rooting for him, and still I want Koto Zakura to get his first Yusho. I'm not the hugest Hoshoru fan. I think he's good. I respect him, but I don't usually root for him. But he should try to take advantage of no Teruno Fuji and things like that, and try his best to win the Yusho. Yeah, and he didn't drop any early matches, as Reg says, so he's definitely off to a good start. He's looked really strong, but he can be susceptible to some strange tactics, like from Abi. Ghost is saying... I don't understand what Ghost is trying to tell us. If you want to say it again, Ghost, I don't understand. I understand that you meant to say NHK instead of NSK. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to tell us. Yeah, Toby against Onosato will be fun. He had a fun match today. I forget who he faced. Let me double check really quick. Um, he fought Nishikigi, and they just were just going at it, and then it like they got separated, and and then they're like, okay, what do we do now? Okay, we got to fight again, and then they're running at each other again, and it was a fun match. Um, okay, 9 people, 5 and 2, so pretty wide open, really. Although it's good that 2 of the guys leading the way are Ozeki. Uh, Hoshoryu, that's right. Yeah, another relative of Asashoryu, the great Yokozuna, is entering sumo. I think he's what, like 19, and he's going to be entering soon. Uh, yeah, Takeda Fuji is fun to watch. I enjoy his matches a lot. Um, Somebody was saying earlier, he's never lost more than 2. I don't see him winning out now, but he could still get double digit. Uh, bum, 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 bum. Yeah. I mean, the thing with me is NHK World put together this awesome highlight package. It's got Murray and Hiro and Ross and Raja and all the guys that do the play by play. They know what they're talking about, and they edit it really nicely. It's 25 minutes or so. You get to see every match. It's just like the highlight thing that I tape sometimes for my channel that's shown at like 3 in the morning here. But they wait 24 hours practically to post it. So it's like I'm like checking YouTube and everything to get ready to go tape day 8, and they're just posting at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon Japan time, day 7 highlights. So it's like, what sport fan wants to wait a day? You can do that if you just are like in a foreign country and you're not going to have spoilers. You're not going to open the newspaper or talk to coworkers and they're going to be like, "Hey, did you see the Matakayumi match?" No one's going to say that for most of you, right? Even I don't get that, and I live in Japan because none of my students watch sumo. But yeah, I mean, they should definitely be getting that package out way earlier. And it's just beyond me. And that I know they put it up at about 1:30 a.m. Japan time, wherever that is for you. So that's 6 p.m. is when the bus show ends, and 1:30 a.m. is when they first have it available on their website, not even on YouTube. But what I'm talking about waiting 24 hours is when they put it on YouTube, which, is where most people want to consume it and see it. Because I know one big complaint about me going over to Patreon is, and I don't know if any of you in the chat right now, there's 57 of you, if you have um, any experience with this with other channels you watch on Patreon, but I guess it's not easy to put Patreon on your television. I'm pointing this way because that's my television over there. And I tried it today. I was like, oh, okay, well, let me go to the App Store and download the Patreon app. And you can't. At least, I'm in Japan, but I think I use the American, because I I think my iTunes is the American iTunes store. Anyway, you type in Patreon in the search and it doesn't even come up. So I feel people's pain. I wouldn't want to watch all my sumo videos necessarily on my phone or something. I have a fairly large monitor on my desktop Mac here, which I watch stuff on all the time. But I would want to sit on my couch and watch my television. Maybe, oh, Jason's videos are up. Cool, man. A half an hour of sumo. I'll watch them just one after another in a row. And they also don't let you do that. They don't let you autoplay a playlist or a collection, as they call it. So there's still some things about Patreon that aren't great, but overall, it's been working fine, and I think people enjoy it over there. Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. I think Iceman is saying you have to share your screen to your Apple TV or whatever, to your television, however you can do that, Roku or whatever it is. Um, yeah, so hopefully people can figure it out. But anyway, all right. So that's about it. I think we looked at day 8, right? We looked at who's fighting on day 8. We did the contest update. I'm just trying to make sure everything got checked. Um, yeah, I think next week will be fairly normal. There might be one day, this is mostly if any of you are Patreon people. Um, maybe there's one day I think I have some teacher meetings. I might have to stay. So I might have highlights the next morning, which is kind of what I did last week one time. And then, of course, this weekend coming up, 22 and 23, days 13 and 14, I'll be in Fukuoka. So that will be an adjustment for the coverage, but I'll be back for everything that's happening on Senshiraku here in my apartment on the 24th. So, oh, Jose, good morning from California. Yeah, it's early for you. Who's my Yusho pick, Matt asked. That's a good question. Mm, if you'd asked me yesterday, I think I would have said Hoshoru. I think I'm going to try Kotozakura. He looks determined. He's only dropped one match. And yeah, I think I'm going to go, I'm going to go with Kotozakura. But I mean, like we just said, 4 people tied for the lead right now with 9 people one off the pace. I mean, it really is sort of wide open. Um, although obviously not all of them are equally skilled to get the U show, but yeah, I think that'd be my pick right now. Bum, bum, bum. Jose's asking, can you go over why a henka is so frowned upon? Sure. Some people don't mind the henka. It's a strategy. It's not illegal. But you're jumping out of the way. It's like you're not doing the thing you're supposed to do, And so I don't mind it so much when it's lower ranked guys, or maybe, it's day 15 and they're 7-7 and they have to get a win to get their Kachikoshi, and they resort to that tactic to get the win. And sometimes there's a false touchy eye, and then they reset and they go again, and maybe one wrestler has sensed something in the other, and he's like, oh, he's going to really come at me hard. I'm going to jump out of the way. Fine. Okay. It's all gamesmanship and stuff like that. But I don't like to see Ozeki do it. I don't like to see the Yokozuna almost never do it. Because, yeah, it's a little cheap, right? It's a little bit like, I'm not going to fight him head on. I'm going to try this maneuver. So I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, and I understand why it's used, and it doesn't bother me 50% of the time, because I understand why it was used. And the other 50% of the time, I throw things at my TV because I really don't like it. But yeah, other people are like, yeah, it's fine, man. It's not illegal. They can do it. It's a strategy. I don't buy that. And if you're injured, there's all kinds of reasons why I could see why you would do it, but it, to me, it's not true sumo, so I don't like it. Yeah. Uh, a win is a win. That's true. Yeah, Takakeisho was the co-announcer today in the NHK booth. So he has tie on, and he's all looking professional in his suit and everything. I was happy about how they handled Yumi's injury yesterday. They had a medical guy, with the bib on and the medical, stuff, and he had his gloves on, and he was out there and telling all these other big wrestlers, "Hey, don't move him, and let's wait till we get the thing." And they rolled him onto the thing and then picked him up and put him on the gurney. And so yeah, they definitely have gotten better and all that, and showing a lot of concern. And then he came back to work today. I think everybody was a little shocked that he showed up, but he didn't look good. So I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls out tomorrow. All right, I think that'll do it for me. It's been about 45 minutes, so we'll get this up on the channel. Good day 7 summary. Um, Yeah, thank you, Easily Ignored. I really will. I'm going to buy a lot of souvenirs. I was going to show you guys, and a lot of times people ask me, this is my Saturday newspaper for today. I get an English language version of the Yomiuri Shimbun. Shimbun means newspaper in Japanese. And I mostly use this for my class. I ask my social studies students, after I get about 20 of them, I take them to school and I hand them out in my 8th grade class, and they have to cut an article out and find words they don't know and talk about current events. But I just wanted to show you on the sports page here. I thought this was kind of interesting. So two full pages of sports. Okay, gonna get all of it in there. So we've got golf, tennis, basketball, soccer, American football, ice hockey, alpine skiing, Olympics, and of course something about Otani, because they have to put something about Otani. So in all of this, even though the bus show is going on, you know where the sumo coverage is? This one little box right here. That's all, and it's just who won and lost and who's fighting today. No picture, no article. On the weekend paper, it really doesn't get talked about a lot here. But it will if Onosato continues to win and becomes the Yokozuna. They made a big splash about how sold out Fukuoka was for the first time in a long time, and the fact that every day was sold out or, near capacity, whatever that metric is that they use, 90% sold, 95% sold, or whatever, for the entire year. And sumo, I think, is definitely more popular than it's been, and tickets are harder to get for the 6 live home bus show. But yeah, it still doesn't really rate much coverage, and Hoshoru is Mongolian. If he wins the U show, it'll be a day's news and then it'll fade. But if somebody Japanese wins, it holds on a little bit longer. And yeah, we'll just have to see. I think it would really be good for the sport if Onosato became the next Yokozuna. But he needs to earn it, of course. All right. Reg says, is it the same in the Japanese language version? I think so. I think, yeah, they basically take the Yomiuri Shimbun articles and they translate them into English, because like this doesn't have a byline for a separate reporter. But I think some of it's written specifically for this. Some of these, like, pieces about Japanese culture that kind of are more interesting for foreign residents who would be the ones subscribing. And then they have like supplements from like the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal and things like that in here. So yeah, it's good to have. It's just nice to have something you can read, and it's good for my students. I wouldn't pay the money. I think it's $36 now. With the current exchange, it's about $30 a month. So like $1 a day to get this delivered to my my mailbox in my door every day. And mostly I do that because I use it for school. So, all right. What was the most Yokozuna at any given time in history? I think there was a time around Akebono time, I want to say 90s, where we had like 5. But even in my time, there was a time where we had Hakuho, Haramafuji, Kakuru, and Kisenosato. So I've seen it where we've had 4. So yeah, I mean, we can have many, many. I mean, if Onosato becomes Yokozuna, that doesn't mean that Hoshoru and Kotozakura and Kirishima and Wakatakage, all these other guys can also become Yokozuna. But they have to earn it. So Barney joined from Canada. Hello, Barney. And yeah, so it's yeah, I think it'll be really fun to go down to Fukuoka. I haven't ever been there for the last. I've almost always gone the middle weekend this weekend. So it'll be interesting to be there on day 14 when it's really kind of a supercharged environment. And I'm meeting Jeff, who runs buysumotickets.com down there. and we're going to have dinner after the bus show, etc. So it'll be a really fun weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, that'll do it for me. So thank you guys for coming by. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for supporting the channel, even though there's not match coverage over here on YouTube anymore. But head over to Patreon if you want to try it. Link will be down in the description. Check out where you are in the contest. Good luck to everybody in the second week. And who knows, maybe I'll do another one of these, maybe live from Fukuoka or something. But anyway, appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. It's already Sunday for me as the clock ticked over into the 0 hour, as it were. And I will say, Oyasumi nasai. Good night. See you next time. Peace.